So this is going to be a trigger warning for people who have dealt with things like CSA and SA. If you're not comfortable talking or hearing about these kind of things, I just wanted to give you a heads up that you can skip this one. When I left Christianity and fundamentalist churches, I realized that churches view misconduct like adultery. Have you ever attended purity culture and heard how they lump abuse and misconduct in the same category as wanting to sleep with people and spending time by yourself doing things? You ever notice how Christians lump actual crimes in with normal behavior? It's on purpose. They want to normalize abuse to look like natural, normal activity. Some of the leaders may not know what they're doing, but the church definitely does. When you view misconduct, actual, ethical, legal crimes, as something like adultery, adultery is not a crime, unless you're in a very backward country who thinks differently. Adultery is not a crime. It's a betrayal, but it's not a crime. Yeah, you hurt your family. You might even lose your wife, your husband, your children. It's a betrayal, but it's not a crime. When you lump crimes in with betrayals or normal behavior, you are creating predators. How many churches have shamed women for getting pregnant, especially in states with abstinence-only sex ed classes or very limited to no access to understanding how to protect yourselves from diseases or potentially getting pregnant? If churches were as consistent about shaming predators like they shame women, and I don't even want them to shame women, we would have a better society. Churches love to shame women who get pregnant. They love to shame women who don't dress the way churches want them to dress. But they don't like shaming fallen leaders who purposefully hid and were protected for decades. When people, church, religious members, view misconduct and crimes as they view adultery, you're creating an environment that can't see the difference between a bad choice and a crime. Adultery is preventable. Adultery is not okay. There's no excuse for adultery. But it's not a crime. Misconduct is a crime. To lump in things like fornication and things I don't even acknowledge are wrong in the same category as things Josh Duggar would do is evil. You cannot combine normal, natural behavior with things that would get you put on a list somewhere for life and a mandatory cell. Churches want to minimize crime and maximize sin. That's why all leaders, especially male ones who get caught in misconduct scandals, they always use the term young lady, young woman, a sin, a bad choice. They never call it what it is: a felony, abuse, misconduct, gross misbehavior. They always minimize crimes and maximize sin. They want to maximize sin. Why? Because when you sin, you want forgiveness. They want to maximize sin and forgiveness to avoid legal consequences. This is why I'm not a Christian anymore. I will not, with this foreknowledge, be a part or support or be a member of a group that views crimes like we view adultery.